Hi, this is Diane Lovetobake on YouTube. And what we're going to make is actually a lemon pound cake. The lemon adds kind of a zesty kick to this very simple pound cake. If you're looking for a more elaborate type or a larger pound cake than we're going to make here today together, please check out my Italian lemon pound cake. It is a delicious recipe. It really is. But so is this one. So let's get started. First, we're going to start off with butter. And you're going to need 1.5 sticks of butter. That's 3/4 of a cup. I cut it into small pieces because I think it's easier and quicker to cream. So I'm just going to put that all into my stand-up mixer. Of course, you could do this with your hand mixer if you prefer. Now, once you break up that butter, it'll cream very nicely. But beat it for about a minute or so. The next thing we're going to be putting in is granulated sugar, and you're going to put 1.5 cups to the butter of granulated sugar. And what you'll want to do is just spend a few minutes till it all combines and starts to cream together, that it becomes quite smooth. So I'm going to turn my mixer back on, so I'm going to warn you about the sound. The next thing we're going to do is be putting in eggs, and you're going to need 4 eggs, and preferably large ones, but also 1 egg yolk. So once again, 4 eggs, but 1 egg yolk. So there's a total of 5 going in. And I'm going to put one at a time and beat that in before I put the next one in. That was 1. That's my second. My third. My 4th egg. And then the yolk. Now, probably someone's going to say, well, did you put the white in with that yolk? No, I separated it and then I added it with the other eggs, with the other 4 eggs. Because I have a feeling someone's going to ask me that question. So, all right. Now, once you beat that, and you'll want it to be quite smooth and silky, so spend a few minutes, okay? Again, I'm just moving it along due to the video. The next thing that you're going to be putting in is lemon juice. So you're going to put 2 tablespoons, I'm sorry, I made a mistake, 2 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice. Now, also, it would be best if you put a tablespoon of grated lemon zest. I had some, but unfortunately, it was accidentally knocked over when the camera was being set up. But do put a tablespoon of your grated lemon zest. That's what's really going to help this pound cake have so much flavor, besides the fresh lemon juice. And then just beat that in. You can already smell that fresh lemon and how pretty the yellow is with the butter and the sugar all combined. Okay, let's work on our dry ingredients now. You're going to need 2 cups of all-purpose flour. You're also going to be putting in a teaspoon of baking powder. So I'm going to just start stirring this in. You're going to be putting in 3/4 of a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. So I'm just going to mix that in. You're also going to be putting in 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda. and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And just stir that together. You don't have to be fussy with it, just okay. And then we're slowly going to be adding it to the wet mixture. And then we're going to alternate it with 3/4 cup of cream, preferably heavy cream if you have it. So I'm going to put a little of that in on low. You don't want the flour to mixture go all over. Okay, and then a little bit of the cream. And then just, as I noted, just keep alternating it. Let's put the rest of the dry in. And just beat that till it's smooth. You don't want to overbeat it because you don't want the cake to be dense or heavy. So just till it's combined. And again, once again, I raised my speed just to get things going because of the video. And now I'm just going to make sure that nothing is stuck to the bottom. And there is a little bit, so I'm going to turn it on just for a little bit here. Okay. Okay. And I'm going to take my paddle out and take my excess off because I really hate to waste any of this nice fragrant batter. And then we'll just bring it all together, and then I want to show you what the batter looks like. So it's quite smooth, as you can, hopefully you can see that. Okay, now of course you're going to need a pan to bake it in. And I like to use this one in particularly because it will give me enough room. You want to have a pan that at least holds 8 cups, okay, at least that. You can use your round ring pans if you prefer that, but I heavily greased it and then dusted it with flour. So I'm just going to take now the cake, whoops, and start to pour this into this pan. Whoop, I got a little bit on the top there. And if it's not real even, just take a spatula and get that all out of your bowl. Okay, let me just use my spoon here and get the rest of it. Okay, there we go. And then I'm just going to lightly tap it a little bit, settle the cake. And you're going to bake this cake at 350 degrees in a preheated oven, and it'll probably take you anywhere from maybe an hour to an hour and 10 minutes. Mine came up today pretty quick. It came up just about that hour, but it can take 1 hour and 10 minutes. So every oven, sets up so differently. But I like to start checking mine around 55 minutes or so, just to take a peek at it and see how it's coming along, that type of thing. But usually, like I said, the max is, it takes about an hour and 10 minutes. All right, now we're going to show you one that, of course, it's baked up, and this is how it'll turn out. Also, I put a glaze on this, and what I did was I took a cup of your powdered sugar, 2 tablespoons again of the fresh lemon juice, and I actually drizzled it all over the cake. You'll see how nice and tall that it'll come baked up. What I like about this particular lemon pound cake is that it's not too large and yet it's not too small for servings. And you know, so if you're looking for a larger pound cake, please check out my channel. I have not only the Italian lemon, but I have chocolate, I have pumpkin, I have so many different types of pound cakes that really do bake up, and they're delicious cakes. So let's cut into this so you can kind of see the you know, the texture of this cake. Okay. Now, once you bake it up, though, put it on a cooling rack before you remove it, because you don't want it to break up. So, you know, wait till the pan is relatively pretty cool that you can take the cake out of your pan, okay? And what you'll find is just a beautiful cake on the inside. It's quite light. It's really quite delicious, especially with a cup of coffee or a cup of tea. And it makes for just a great tasting pound cake. Now, you can also, I want to mention, if you want to put in the batter, you can put just a little bit of yellow food coloring in it if you prefer to have more of a yellow shade to it, a lemony shade to it. Feel free and use a few drops of that, or to whatever you want to the darkness of the cake. But it really does come out so delicious, this cake. It really does. I think you'd really enjoy this little cake if you gave it a try. Now, if you do try the recipe and you like it, leave a comment, because I like to hear from you. But here is what happens. So many times my videos are, again, being, well, copied or stolen. And they end up on websites, so that when you write to me and you give me a comment or you give me a like, which I really appreciate, or you have a question, I can't answer you because it isn't on YouTube where all my videos are found. So, you know, I appreciate you watching Diane Lovetobake on YouTube. If you want to give me a like, that would be fantastic. If you're so inclined and you want to subscribe to the channel, that would be great too. I appreciate everyone that takes the time to watch my videos or writes to me. But again, watch my videos on YouTube. I would really appreciate it. And well, till next time, thanks again for watching Diane Lovetobake on YouTube. See you soon.